Hello and good morning and welcome back to TGC's World Cup Morning Glory. India chased down Australia's 199, 4 down, 52 balls remaining. Was it closer than that, Pezza? I want to know, are you down? Are you sad? Are you crying some salty Australian tears? Are you using sandpaper? How are you feeling this morning? How are you feeling right now about that game?
All of the above. All of the above.
Sandpapering your tears?
Well, we've been hyping up this game as the last goal wins game.
Yeah.
Failing to disclose that actually moves to the semi-finals.
Yes,
now,
of course, yes.
Or the final.
Yeah.
Although based on last night's performance, all of the above. Absolutely devastated by this loss that the entire country didn't see coming or didn't see.
TGC is brought to you by cricket.com. You can download the cricket.com app from your app store for all the stats and analysis. Also, you can subscribe to their YouTube channel, cricket.com/TV, if that's what you want to do. And you know what? Throughout this entire World Cup, Pezza, we're doing TGC's World Cup Morning Glory. It wasn't so glorious for the Aussies last night or waking up this morning to see the scores. But then you saw like a breakdown of when the wickets fell and you thought, oh, did I feel something? Was it close? I'm not really sure. Are you thinking, can Australia win a World Cup with one frontline spinner who's sensationally out of form at the moment? A wicketkeeper that ain't going that great at the moment, and an all-rounder that's played way too much cricket this year? Or is it just one game?
No, this is what we want. This is false sense of security stuff.
Okay.
You don't want to be playing good cricket now.
It's way too soon.
India, showed glimpses of good cricket when they needed it.
Yeah.
They don't want to be playing good cricket now either.
Nah.
They did enough.
Yeah.
To knock Australia, a little bit of net run rate stuff, not too much. KL Rahul was so kind as to accidentally hit a 6.
Yeah.
To deny himself 100. He was unhappy.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's get into the first of the three things, and we'll talk about the spinners' stranglehold on the game. It was Jadeja, Ashwin, and Kuldeep who just took the game by the scruff of the neck, one might say. And indeed, I am saying that right now. I'll give you the bowling figures for those three particular cricketers. Ashwin, 1 for 34 off 10. Kuldeep Yadav, 2 for 42. But it was Ravindra Jadeja, 3 for 28, who did most of the damage. Could have had 4 for Zampa, dropped at first slip by Rohit Sharma there off the knee of KL Rahul. But it was just like once that happened, like once those three were bowling, it was relentless. I know there was talk about why aren't they sweeping? Well, the batters that play, they're not great sweepers or reverse sweepers. Really, Maxwell can, I suppose, but say Marnus do it a little bit maybe. But when you're bowling at 100 k's an hour at the stumps, and some are ragging, some are going on with the arm, as we've seen many times before, how the fuck do you even get off strike?
It was a great vibe. Hard. It was a great vibe. Chennai, the whole thing was a great vibe. Like we were getting the top shot of the deck.
My favourite shot.
The best shot of the Indian deck. Got little bits and pieces here and there. Dirk Nannis is talking about the ball having dog's ears hanging off it. Couldn't quite see the dogs at Marina Beach from those shots, but apparently it's comparable to the Caribbean, according to DK.
Some have said that.
A wicket was drier than Ian Bishop's response to DK. On comms, but that's India, baby. That's what happens when you go to Chennai. Everybody knew that would be the case, those three spinners, 6 for 94 from 30 overs, just doing the damage.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked that happened, Pezza.
Ashwin's bowling carom balls. Kuldeep is roaring as he rips his wristies past both edges of the bat. And Jadeja's is fucking unplayable.
Like wristy from Kuldeep, what I wouldn't give.
Absolutely, we're watching them all night. Anyway, that's a different channel. Jadeja gets Smith. A lot of people noted that he set him up beautifully. A couple of 98k deliveries that go on with the arm, and then the slower one hits the top of off. The slower one's 91 k's an hour. That's still fucking quick. Like the guy is unbelievable, amongst the best ever left arm spinners to have played the code, if not the best, according to my dad.
Okay,
so. They were fantastic, and they just had too much for Australia. I mean, down the track, we're going to say that India was 3 for 2, 2 for 3, whatever. They still got their 52 balls to spare. At the end of the day, India's spinners just couldn't be dealt with, and Australia had nothing in comparison to that.
Now, are you concerned at all that when Smith was bowled by Jadeja by so far the ball of the tournament, and Smith is laughing? Now, I'm concerned again about the hard noses of the Australian team. Now, we saw Adam Zampa test out his nose in the swimming pool before the game, headbutting the stairs just to sort of fire up the boys, see if they can change his fortunes, a la Alex Carey was that in Pakistan when he fell into the pool, then played amazingly for a bit. So, you know, are you concerned that, you know, he's smiling again by a ball that's literally fucking unplayable?
Look, I had a
you worried?
bad feeling about this game from the outset. Like
When you saw the fixtures?
No, it was actually when I saw a bloke in a Port Adelaide long sleeve jersey dancing to South Korea's Psy with the fucking with the limp wristed horse trot. The song that was on was like a local Indian beat by presumably a Chennai DJ, surrounded by 50+ Indian blokes grinding him with a Virat jersey on, and he's like, "Oh, better get in touch with the local culture here with my Port Adelaide jersey on. I'll go with a South Korean fucking Gangnam Style." It's
a World Cup flavour.
We're all in the same kind of area.
Not really.
Yeah, exactly. You know, DK's commentating while we're seeing replays of Hardik Pandya look like he had his finger absolutely taken off by David Warner. So as DK's looking at the commentary, he's like looking at the footage. He's like, "Well, Steve Smith needs to stay in his crease there, and the non-strikers, and this isn't a spirit of cricket issue." I'm like, man, why do you worry about honestly one of your best players potentially being out of the World Cup with a finger issue? But anyway, I just had and that's before you even get to JARVO. You know, JARVO. Like, I mean, he can stop proceedings. Why don't we see if he can stop proceedings in the Gaza Strip? Send him there.
Well, yeah, okay. People are going to want us to talk about JARVO. What I liked about it was, when he was being escorted from the field by maybe Indian officials, or they had kit on, so you know, hard to say. But when Kohli ran over to him and he seemed to say something, and JARVO turned his head, I think Kohli told him to get the fuck off the field. He sprayed him.
Deluxe.
And I have thought about JARVO long and hard, and if you're watching this, JARVO, I think you're the most useless piece of fucking shit. You can fuck off from the ground. It ain't funny anymore. You're the most self-centered fucking cunt. Fuck off. And that's what Virat should have said to him.
Probably did.
It's also great that he's got a visa when absolutely zero journalists from Pakistan, as an example, get a visa at the game. But JARVO,
print journalists.
Get him in. Get him in.
Yep.
Get him in. Fuck off. Absolute fucking waste of space.
Yeah. Hell of a vibe there at Chennai. You also had the body paint flag rig guy. You know that guy?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
He was blowing a conch onto someone's head while K-San played in the background. It was just a vibe. It was the World Cup started.
Right, I also saw, as I tweeted last night, there's blokes bringing a drum kit in. I mean, it's all part of the carnival, which is the Cricket World Cup. I'm telling you what, if I've spent 30 grand on a ticket and I'm sitting next to a bloke who's just fucking smashing drums all day, I don't know. It's a long old day. ODI cricket's a long old game. Should we talk about the second thing though, Pezza?
Yeah,
we're getting to India's batting innings now. It could have been 4 for 20 or 20 for 4. It actually was 3 for 2, 3 wickets down for 2 runs. Stark gets issued first ball. Hazelwood gets Rohit and Shreyas in the same over. And then later on, it was it Hazelwood that bowled it? Yeah, Hazelwood pushed.
Hazelwood gets 2.
Yeah, Hazelwood, bowling with Virat, dropped there. Or was that Cummins who bowled it? I can't remember now. Pushes Virat bat, sort of splices him a little bit. It balloons to sort of just in front of square leg on the onside. Obviously, it's like right in between Carey and Marsh. Marsh runs full pelt, gets there with a slide, and then ends up not even getting a hand on it. So the ball goes through his arms. Obviously, in some capacity, distracted by Carey, who I don't think would have got there. But you just didn't think. I mean, they're chasing 200. It was definitely unders on that deck. But I mean, you can't really ask much more from an Australian perspective to have an opposition 3 for 2 and then have a chance to get rid of perhaps the best ODI player ever to play the game to make it 20 for 4, 4 for 20. You can't really ask for more than that. They miss the opportunity and, the boys go on to do what they're going to do. So what are you going to do? But fuck, hell of a start from Australia.
Yeah, Australia started well. I think it's more good news for India, really. Like, they lose 3 wickets for 2 runs. They nearly lose Virat. They're chasing 200. They get there with 50 balls to spare. They would have chased 280, even despite losing, 3 top-order bats in quick succession. That's a sign of a side with some resilience. With Carey and Marsh, I think it's one of those things. I think it's fairly close to the middle. Marsh is closer to it. Don't know if Carey's getting there. Carey might want to look like he's trying to get there because that's what keepers should do. I worry about his confidence, Carey. I mean, it's a hell of a caveat to say the 99 aside. Hell of a caveat. That don't exist. It's like Warner's 200. But He hasn't. I was listening to the Final Word boys this morning, noting that he hasn't made a score above 14 otherwise.
Right.
So it's just a succession of low scores. Australia needs him. They need to back him now. They really, really need to get around him and back him because they're pretty cooked without him. Left-hander, in the middle order, needed that as well.
Yeah.
And then, this can't be good for his confidence, this stuff either. But, I preferred it. I think it was one of those innings for Australia where if you're defending, 199, every single thing needs to go right. It starts that way. But at the end of the day, the core contest was spin attack v spin attack, and there was just no comparison, both in terms of what we offered up with the ball, what they offered up with the ball, but in terms of their capacity to actually deal with spin as well. I mean, how many times have you seen the movie of Aussie blokes like on a very difficult deck, but not like out of the ordinary? It's Chennai. We know it spins. Everyone knew that was going to happen.
6 months ago,
stopping it. Just don't have the tools or the weaponry to deal with it in any kind of way. And then on top of that, like Marsh gets out early. Apparently, he's the only guy who can attack in the power play. Power play didn't exist. It was we were just behind the 8 ball from the start before you even get to the JARVO stuff.
I'm going to drop in some stat dog here. Stat dog time. Woof, woof. This is all coming from cricket.com. So for the first time in ODIs, India's 3 out of the top 4 batters were all out for a duck in the same innings. Mitchell Starc in the process became the 5th bowler to 50 wickets in the ODI World Cup. He's also the fastest by matches and by balls, as we're all counting the 941 balls it took Starc to get to 50 ODI World Cup wickets. Most runs, Pezza, for India in ICC white ball tournaments in ODIs and T20s. Tendulkar was number 1, and now Virat Kohli has gone past him, and that's what I'm going to bring into the third thing. KL and Virat show their class. Just way too good. I mean, obviously Virat gets a chance, but KL Rahul was just absolutely majestic. To be fair, as was Virat, who is just such a good chaser. He finishes 85 of 116. KL Rahul 97 off 115, 8 4s and 2 6s.
KL Rifle.
He's actually
like Ratch and Ravindra, but for Paul Rifle.
It's Paul Rifle's nephew.
Sorry, no one knows about KL Rahul's parents. Big pistol fans. It's coming off stump there.
That's right.
First change.
Just absolutely majestic. I mean, just such a great innings from KL Rahul specifically with like the drives. Kohli flicks so well. He punches Hazelwood down the ground as well. Runs at him early on. It was just
and classy of him not to go for that 100 again.
It was classy, wasn't it?
Again, with Sachin sort of in his wake there.
Again,
so 85, that'll do. Yeah.
Once again, different to Heinrich Klaasen, who plays for a different side altogether.
Indeed, we're talking about Heinrich Klaasen.
People think we're talking about Heinrich Klaasen again.
He's become a very good player lately.
And KL Rahul just gives us another great example of when is cricket ever good. So he's on 91. They need 5 to win, and he's thinking, well, if I hit a 4 and then a 6, I can get myself to 100. And he accidentally hits a 6, and then he's absolutely devastated. He's just, what have I done? What have I done here? I've made another huge mistake. He's chipped it for 6 to win the game for his country in the opening game of the World Cup against a main rival in Chennai there. And he's thinking, I'm so disappointed. So, when does cricket ever make you happy, Pezza?
I thought that when he hit that for 6, I thought this is the next step the India team needs to make. Not worried about milestones anymore. Just get the job done. Then the camera panned to him, and he's on his fucking knees, like he's mourning a close relative's death. I've just won the game with a 6 against Cummins. I finished on 90 red. No, you played well, and I think it's fair to say that everybody's always backed KL Rahul.
I think so.
You know what I mean?
It's
good to see him delivering on people's respect and support for him. When he's on,
Come on.
Few better.
Come on.
When he's on.
He's actually had a tremendous game because Ishan Kishan's out first ball, who's his main rival for the gloves in the side.
Man, two great mates getting the job done for India. It's looking, everything's coming up India. No, seriously.
Congratulations, India, on winning the World Cup overnight. Sensational. That's done.
With Australia, it's is Australia in trouble here? Kind of look in trouble to me.
Well, I said at the top
6 from 8. You need 6 from 8 now.
Yeah. Five might get you in. 6 will. So,
right.
Yeah. I mean, it's like, can Australia win enough games with one frontline spinner if the decks are going to be like this one? They might not all be like this one per se. The all rounder. I mean, the all-rounder's he's played way too much cricket. I mean, he's just so exhausted, surely.
You're not referring to the opposition member by his name, Cam Green?
I'm talking about Cam Green. I'm talking like, well, didn't mention Zampa either. And then you look at obviously Alex Carey, who's really struggling for runs. And look, Inglis, who's the backup keeper, has not really done much better when he's had his chances for Australia. He's also very much a top-order bat when I've seen him perform well in domestic cricket or franchise cricket especially. And if you drop Carey, like there's no way back in from in the side during the World Cup. So it's, when do you make that chance? You got to keep backing him. And then once again, Smith and Marnus on the same side. It just feels 2011 to me. Look, I think Australia's still got enough quality to win lots of games of cricket in the World Cup. Of course they do. But
well, lucky there's a gimme coming up.
What's that one?
Yeah. Oh, right. South Africa.
Any history against them recently?
Yeah. How are they going at the moment?
Okay.
South Africa's international cricket program's done, isn't it?
So we'll probably make some changes for that side.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Rest if you get Sabah in or something.
that's right. It's all looking pretty good then.
Yeah.
All looking pretty good for the boys. Now I'm still backing them. There's still
me too. I back them too. Yeah, of course.
Hashtag AskTGC. This one comes in from Stevie D on Twitter. And you know what? Get in your hashtag AskTGCs in the comments below, and we'll answer your questions in the next episode, which is there's a game tonight, isn't there? What are we covering tonight? No, there's not actually tonight.
No, we've got two the following
two in the following night. That's right. Anyway, Stevie D wrote in. He said, hashtag AskTGC. Is there a German word for the heady cocktail of emotions brought about by the creeping realization that one day soon India will win every cricket game it plays and the IPL will own/run every T20 competition in the world, and also Australia getting whooped? Is there a German word for that?
Herrschaft. Herrschaft. Domination.
He plays for Bayern, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he's sort of Caribbean. Herrschaft.
Yeah, and that's what that word means. Just covers all those factors there, all those points.
Herrschaft. Orangensaft. Domination orange juice, mate. You asked for a fucking German word. You got one?
No, I don't. Well, I think from Australia's perspective, that will probably be the hardest game, to play until the next one they play. But, Chennai, India, first game of the tournament, it doesn't get really much tougher than that. So
Schweinsteiger. Startmitte.
We'll see you guys on the internet real soon.